guys, welcome back to our channel. This is the this is the Christian and Katya channel, and it's our Gutierrez family.
Yep.
So welcome to our house.
Welcome.
How do you say welcome to our house in Spanish?
Bienvenido a nuestra casa.
There you go. So yeah, today we want to talk to you guys about how to have a good relationship as a couple. So in our case, we're married. And we've been married for almost 10 years. In November, it'll be 10 years. So I feel like we've gained quite a bit of experience.
Yeah, we've learned a lot throughout the way. I mean,
learn and live.
Been a good ride.
Yeah, so we're going to tell you some of our tips and hope it helps your relationship. We have a little mukbang thingy again. I have my tea, and he has his tea. Mine's in my Copenhagen mug. And it's, I don't know, ginger tea. And what do you have?
Chai tea.
Chai tea from Tim Hortons.
Yeah, it's really good. She's the one who, she converted me actually. I was a green tea drinker, and then you got me into this one. It's pretty good.
And then we have this bag of, I don't know, chips or something. Trail mix.
Munchies.
And we have this huge freaking cookie. Look at this. Look at this.
It's more like a cake.
Yeah.
You wonder why Americans are fat.
Smell it. That's rude. Sorry to you Americans, but I mean it's true. You guys eat a lot of food.
I think I was saying something else.
So I have a little list here of things that I wrote. I actually came up with most of them when I was using the washroom. To be honest. That's the honesty here.
Best thoughts always come from the washroom.
Oh, and I will say, this isn't really about a tip, this has nothing to do with tips, but I will say one of the things I noticed when you're actually in a more serious relationship, or when you're comfortable with each other, I would say comfortable, is when you're not really embarrassed to like tell each other you went to the washroom or things like that.
Oh yeah, I always tell her, like, I always tell her in advance, do you have to use the washroom? And she's like, if she has to, she'll go. You know, like, she knows I have to go, I gotta drop a bomb.
That means number two. And then basically he's warning me, like I'm going. Please don't use the washroom for like 20 minutes after.
Yeah.
To, you know, be nice to each other.
I don't know what I ate.
But yeah, that's, we keep it real. Keep it real. And get yourself someone that will clean up your barf for you. So I will say he hates like barf, and he has a hard time even cleaning up our dog's poo. When it comes to me, if I throw up, he actually cleans it up and I feel really bad, but he does.
She's my baby.
So
I'll do anything.
That's pretty nice. But alright, my first tip to having a good, healthy relationship is to compromise. So compromise, in my opinion, means that both people can be happy. So it's not my way or his way, or, you know, and sometimes, you know, sometimes you do just do it the way you want it, whatever. But generally, if you want to make sure both people are happy and no one's resenting each other or whatever, I think compromise is really important. So for example, if I say I want something done today and he would prefer to have it done tomorrow, we'll compromise and we'll do it in the evening of today, for example. So that it feels like it's closer for tomorrow for him, but still today for me.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a bad habit, but where we come from, a lot of times we tend to say the word mañana, which means, you know, we'll do it tomorrow, we'll do it later.
In the Spanish culture, yeah.
You know, where Kaya's coming from, it's very much like, get it done now, ASAP.
Danish people are generally very punctual.
So what we've done is we're like, hey, why don't we come in the middle? I won't wait till tomorrow, won't do it ASAP, I'll do it just a little bit later. Not too late, but just a little bit later. And then she's happy and I'm happy. Yep.
So compromise is really important. That's just one example. You can compromise in so many different situations, right?
I think it's been like really great, the whole compromising thing. We learned that very early on, just how important it is. And it's served us really well. Yeah. It's been really good.
Muy bueno. Okay, number two, dos, is to put each other first. So this one is very, very important to us. We have quite a long story. Maybe one day we can share that. But when I say put each other first, I mean literally. So that means put your partner first before even your own like relatives, like your parents or your friends. And that doesn't mean you don't care about your family. Extended family doesn't mean you don't care about your friends, and you should. It just means if you're gonna have to choose between your husband or your boyfriend over what your uncle thinks, I think you should choose your boyfriend, because you're the person who he's the one who's gonna live with you, and you're supposed to love them the most. Right? And I think that's super important. I mean, of course, if you've only been dating for someone for 2 days, I guess you could still put your family first. but if you're really serious with someone, I think you should be putting them first. And that's something we've done from the very beginning. It's literally why we call each other kind of the Romeo and Juliet couple, because we had to choose each other and kind of run away to be together.
Yeah.
And we're here, still here almost 10 years later.
Yeah, I think it applies especially if you're married, because you know what? Like she said, it has nothing to do with that you love your blood family less or anything, but at the same time, who are you married to? Who are you seeing every day? And your marriage is so important. I mean, if you're gonna have children, your children need to have stability in the house. Your children have to know that their parents are working together, and they're on the same page. That it gives them security, and your spouse also feels security. So it's really important that it doesn't have anything to do with you're disrespecting your blood family. It has nothing to do with you don't spend time with them anymore. It just means you now work together as a team. You're one, you're one chicken, right? One chicken, one flesh.
What's important to you shows by what you put as a priority, right? Don't care what others think. That's part of it. Like, don't really care what other people think about you guys. Like, at the end of the day, it's only what you guys think about each other that matters. So, for example, in our situation, since we're interracial, whatever you want to call that relationship, maybe some people might have an opinion about dating different race or whatever.
Yeah.
Honestly, we don't care. So as long as you don't care, who cares what other people think, even if it's a family member?
Yeah, we encountered that really early on, just because she's white, I'm Latino.
But we don't even notice that.
And some people they just had issues.
Or some people don't even know that. Like, some people, even after we have wedding rings and everything, they assume we're not even married or even dating. Like, a lot of people think we're not even dating.
Most people.
Just because we're not the same race. It's very strange. But anyways. Number 3 is communication. And I believe that this has been taught by everybody in society, and therapists will say it. You can't assume what the other person's thinking. Even if you know them very well, you still can't assume. And if you don't communicate your thoughts, you can't really be upset if someone isn't getting what they need or want, right?
Yeah.
So communication.
Yeah, and it's really important to eat together. And everyone loves to be on their phone. We totally understand. We're on our phone all the time as well. We're either listening to music or we're chatting with people.
Or YouTube.
But I think it's really important that you put your phones aside when you're sitting down and you're eating together, or when you're just hanging out together, because you gotta give your best attention to the other person.
And listen, actually listen.
Listen, yeah.
And I think you can learn new things about each other that way by communicating. And I think it's just important to set time aside. I think everyone thinks communicating just means like, hey, how are you? Good. Or like they talk about the weather, or they talk about food, or they talk about sports together. But I mean, when I say communicate, I don't mean just talk, like to make noise. I mean actually communicate. What are you feeling today? Did that make you happy yesterday? What can I do to do this, make this easier for, actually try to get into the other person's brain is very important. And I think that actually communication can actually eliminate a lot of fights, because you might actually understand where that person's coming from before.
And you know what? It's really interesting in our relationship, like in our dynamic. She talks, I would say, about 90 to 95% of the entire conversation, because she's very much of a talker. She's always been. And I do the other part, and I think it works best in our situation because I've always been more quiet, and I've always been very much of a listener. And I love listening to people talk. I love listening, one-on-one. Just listening deeply. What's going on? What does this person need? How can I help this person? Things like that. So I think in our situation, it's really good because she's the talker, I'm the listener.
It's kind of funny though, because I'll be talking all the time, and then when I'm not talking, let's say I finished what I'm saying, and then he's like, okay, talk to me. For some reason, when someone says talk to me, then I have nothing to say. It's generally when no one's asking me to talk, that's when I'm talking.
Yeah, she's like a radio.
Yeah, it could be kind of bad though. Some people might find me annoying. You can leave me know in the comments if I talk too much. Okay, number 4 is learn each other's love language. So if you don't know what that is, you can Google it. I didn't even know what it was honestly until like a year ago or 2 years ago, and once I actually learned it, it actually helped a lot to understand the other person, and I think for you to understand me. So basically what that means is when you learn about someone's love language, basically you could do like a little online test and you can figure out what your personality type or whatever is. It basically tells you what is the type of ways that you show love to other people and what is it that you like to get from people to feel loved. The thing is, a lot of times people are giving to someone else what they actually want back, but that's not what the other person wants. So there could be a miscommunication. That person's like, I never feel like you love me because you don't do this. Or like, oh, I didn't know that's what you wanted. Like, I thought this would make you feel loved. Right? And I think even for us to a degree, you'd be like, you wanted more, for example, like he's Latino, so he wants more like touch and hug, and I just didn't know because in my culture we don't do that as much, so I didn't know he wanted as much until he told me, and I was like, oh. And then once I did that, then you feel more love. And I wanted you to, I like little acts of like little gifts, and I don't mean material like diamond rings or anything. I mean like even just a little handwritten letter with a cute smiley face. I like little gifts like that because it makes me feel like he took the time to think of me. And you didn't really think to do that for me because you don't care for gifts. Yeah,
that's another thing that we had to learn early on, you know. Like she said, I come from very much of, you know, you give a lot of hugs, you receive a lot of hugs. And so I think her version of giving love, is, you know, she makes something nice to eat.
Or buy you something.
Or buy me something. And I really appreciate it. I really do. But at the same time I was kind of feeling like, but I need a little bit of love here, right? And then, so I had to tell her what I need, and then so she gives me lots of hugs.
Now I do better with that.
And you know what's the really cool thing is that she comes from a background where there's not enough hugs. And she's a person who requires a ton of hugs. Like she's been missing it.
I actually need the hugs. I just didn't give many back. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is a piece of cake for me. I can do tons of hugs.
Yeah. So that's like one example, like the love language thing, and there's different things on that line, but if you Google it, you'll read more about it. That I would highly recommend that when you want to get into a good relationship with someone, just understanding the other person, how they vibe, and what they need, and then what you need, and then you can give each other better, and you can also figure out if you're a good enough match. Number 5 is use humor during tough times. So the reason why I say use humor is because I think that sometimes, like, let's say you get in a car crash, not a serious one, like let's say like a little, you hit the pole or something and your car gets dented. Yeah, of course it's not a good thing, so you're not gonna be like, oh, who cares, and then do it again. But what I mean by that is like if you start freaking out at each other or like blaming that person or whatever, it's not gonna make the situation it's not gonna make it not go away, and it's not gonna make the other person feel any better. So it's better to just be like, oh, dang, life sucks sometimes, and joke about it and then fix the issue. But I think when you use humor, it dissolves any, I don't know, potential anger, unnecessary anger on either person, or like hurting someone's feelings, or I don't know, just lightens up the mood a little bit. And I feel like happiness is really important in a relationship, so if you're happy, it's like gonna be a strong relationship, I guess. Humor is the honey in a relationship. It holds things together, and you can never laugh enough. You can never enjoy the other person's company and listening to their jokes, or it's also funny because the way how we joke together and with other people, we understand our jokes and we know when we're being sarcastic towards other people, but other people don't understand our humor always. And but it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice when the other person understands you and inside jokes. So just you get each other. Sometimes we do it on purpose. Yep, provoke other people. They have no idea. You know, Katya and I, we've encountered a lot of people in our lives, and we know a lot of people that are incredibly dry, just like stiff to the max. I'm like, you gotta like kind of shake them. I'm like, wake up! I know. You know, you're so asleep. Yeah, and I think also humor helps when, like, if you're going through hard times in life, even stressful times, or I don't know, you're going through income issues. When you have humor, it's easier to get through it, right? When it just is, and it just kind of gives you more support that way. Weird. All right. Number 6 is don't make a big deal out of petty mistakes. I guess kind of like 5, but yeah, just like, I don't know, like I think in the first few years of a relationship, sometimes you don't understand that can be kind of annoying after a while. But let's say, for example, every woman knows, for example, that men tend to have a hard time remembering to take the garbage out. Like, it's a chronic issue. So if you're a good man that does it all the time, but it's a very, you know, widely known thing. And I'm sure there's things that women do too, that every guy's like, why? Like, why is it necessary that we do this or we don't listen first time? But I think, like, the thing is, it's not that the person shouldn't try to, you know, make it better. But I think if you know, if you make a big deal out of it, like you're nagging or you're just like making a huge deal out of something, you're just gonna like kill the fun in a relationship. A relationship is supposed to be fun and loving. So if I'm always like, if I were to like scream at you because you didn't take the garbage out, even if it's annoying, it's just, what's it gonna do?
Yeah, she never does that though.
Yeah, I don't do that, but I know that it can be possible, and it's just, I don't see how that's gonna benefit, or just, I don't know, just anything.
I've been really bad with that, and you know what? At the same time, there's certain things that you can work on when it comes to those things.
Of course.
And you're gonna learn that some things will never change.
Yeah.
I'll probably personally always be someone who forgets that one thing. But I did learn the other part, which is to put the toilet seat down.
Yes.
You know, so I got that one checked, where I did learn how to, you know, always close the shower curtains.
Is that like it's important? So like, you know, some people have their preference or their OCD on certain things.
Yeah.
Like, what is one thing, for example, that I do that you feel like you prefer I wouldn't do or would do, but I just don't, and you have to learn to just be like, well,
speeding.
Okay, so I guess I'm a speeder. Not like reckless. I don't go like 180 in like a 50 zone, but I'll go like 10 kilometers over, and we've gotten a few tickets for that, and I guess...
Maybe more than 10.
10 kilometers over? I go, but not like crazy. I want the police to be watching this and like track me down. I'm a good driver. I like speed. I love racing. So anyways, but yeah, that's probably one thing, you know, annoys him, and I know when I try to do it, but I mean, it's still like, it's hard, because like, I don't know, it's his garbage thing. But if at the same time, it's kind of going back to, unless I'm actually putting him at risk or like someone's gonna die, if I want to get the ticket and I want to pay for it, that's on me.
Yeah.
What's it gonna do for you to nag me 100 times? It's just gonna put stress in the relationship, and it's gonna make me feel like you're my father and I'm your daughter. You know what I mean? It's just gonna make it feel like that.
It's a Wednesday, you know, I gotta take out the garbage. I forgot to take it out the day before. She tells me, and I'm like, okay, I'll take it out. And she's like, can you take it out now? I'm like, I promise you, cross my heart, I'm gonna take it out today. But
there's the compromise. So there's the compromise. And instead of me nagging and being like, you never do it or get mad, be like, remind him, because I think he should be reminded if you need that's your chore. But then we go compromise, and you'll be like, yeah, I won't do it right now, but I will do it today. And then we're both happy. Right?
Yes.
So see how these things all tie together?
Yes. What is it?
I think it's like a gingerbread cookie with icing sugar. Tell me if it's very sweet. Oh. Is it gross? Like, it's probably very sugary. Is it too much?
Do you have to use the washroom?
No. 7 is be trustworthy. Being trustworthy. Mean what you say, don't lie, even about small little things. I mean, I've been guilty of like, I didn't do that when I did. I took, shopping more than I should. Right, but just trustworthy is very important. I know we all fail at these things, but especially in major things, like don't be cheating and stuff like that, but just being trustworthy, like, make it, like, so people they can depend on you, they know what you mean when you say it, they feel safe with you, they know that you're honorable. Like, what would you ask being trustworthy?
Let your yes be yes and your no mean no.
Okay, so like taking the garbage out?
Yes.
See how it all works together?
I do my best.
Oh yeah.
I'll take out the garbage tomorrow?
When this is uploaded, we'll see.
Yes, and when you have trust, you got closeness to the max.
I mean, like, there's some people who have trust issues because they've been burnt by a lot of people. Maybe they've been cheated on by a lot of guys before, or girls before, or whatever the case. Maybe their parents divorced. Yeah, divorced. Like, my parents are divorced, and it's causing me to have some trust issues in general, just for the whole world. But I think it's important to have trust, because if you don't trust a person even at all, then why are you in a relationship? Not only do you have to trust, the person has to be trustworthy. So if you want someone to trust you, make sure that you are doing things to be trustworthy, right? Yeah. Number 8 is support each other's dreams, opinions, achievements, and to be yourself. Yeah. So support each other's dreams. So like whatever you want to do with your life, whatever I want to do, be happy for the other person.
Yeah.
Like, cheer them on. the worst thing to be is someone who doesn't support the other person. That's not gonna work. You gotta make sure you support each other's dreams, value each other's opinions. You know, we don't have to agree on everything, just respect them. And I think like really important too is to be yourself. If you can't be yourself, that's gonna be a really long, boring life. You probably have a lot to say on that.
Well, yeah, like I think it's really important that you can be yourself, because one of the main things when I was talking to people and they feel down in their lives is they just feel like they can't be themselves. And so I always ask them, like, out of 10, how much do you feel like you can be yourself around people, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is? And whenever you hear anything less than
a 9,
yeah, something like that, it's like they really have to work on it.
Yeah.
So you have to come to a point where you can be yourself. You have to also accept the fact that a lot of people won't like you for who you are. But that shouldn't matter, right? Because why should you change to be someone who you're not?
Yeah.
If you try to be like someone you're not, you're gonna be stressed, you're gonna be depressed, and it's also best, if you're dating, always start out by being yourself. Don't try to be like someone that you're not. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with the wrong person. Yeah. Like I remember when we were dating, I made the mistake where I went on Google and I checked on like, what do women want from a guy? And it's like they want you to be cocky, they want you to be a jerk.
Only like weird people, women want that, no offense.
You know, they want you to be like that. And then I discovered, actually, she doesn't want me to be cocky. She doesn't want me to be a jerk.
No.
But what if I tried to be like that? Then she wouldn't have given me a second chance.
But not just that, everyone's personalities are different. So just be yourself. If you're cocky, then guess what? Someone who likes that will like you, and good for you guys. But if I want to be loved for who I am, he probably wants to be loved for who you are, and that's only the way a relationship's gonna last for the long run, is if you can be yourself. Yeah. So that's that one.
There we go.
The next one is don't let the wife do all the chores. But this could be just freaking general. Like in a relationship, especially if you're living together, that's number one. If you're living together, don't let your husband or your wife do everything for you. Like, help out, because I think that then it starts to feel like a parent-child relationship, or you just get resentful and it's not fair. So whatever your situation may be, help around, you know, ask that person if they can help each other, and just split things evenly.
Guys can try to remember to take out the garbage.
Yeah, like women do a lot more in general. We just do. We like to do that stuff, but I think it's just important. I think and I feel more appreciative when either you help out, or even if you just acknowledge, oh, thank you for doing this. It makes me feel like it's all worth it to, you know, do those things for each other.
I make the eggs in the morning.
Yeah, he does do that. They're really good. The next one is apologize when you're wrong. So just apologize. Don't like be stubborn and make the other person wait. Like, we all do that, but it's always important just to resolve things and just apologize when you know you're wrong.
Yes.
And if you didn't do anything wrong, well then don't apologize. Don't say sorry if you didn't do anything, because you don't have to say sorry. But just go and make up, and you know, don't let things go on for years and days. It's just, life is so precious. Why spend it fighting?
Yeah, some of the quickest ways how to avoid conflict, just go right ahead. Apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bubba. Like, I'm sorry.
Or take a break for a second, right? And like take a breather, but then come back and resolve it. Don't like put it under the carpet. Set goals and don't keep things boring. Try new things, learn new things about each other. So keep the flame, keep the, you know, life interesting. Set new goals for each other as individuals. See new places, try new foods, meet new people. Right? Like,
I love writing down goals.
And don't, like, just because you've been together for 2 years or 10 years or 50 years doesn't mean you can't feel like you're still on a date. Like, still go on those dates, still dress up for each other, still do fun things.
Yes.
Right? Like,
have manners, you know? Yeah. Open up the chair for her to sit down, things like that. They like that. Hold the door and things like that. It never gets old.
Some people think it's old news now. No, it's not old news.
Yeah.
It's not old. Oh, and the last thing we like to do, and this is, we like to do it, is spoon. How do you say it? Spoon? Spoonage? Spoon time. So that's our thing, and we like to spoon.
Because I like to be hugged, and I like to give hugs.
I like to get hugs too.
So spooning.
Spooning always makes you feel close and loved, so I recommend that. Anyways, those are our tips. How to have a nice couples goals, whatever those people say nowadays.
We got more. If you guys have any questions, you let us know. You have any suggestions for videos you want us to make?
Yeah.
Just let us know.
Leave us a comment of what your tips are.
And also, you know what? We're getting close to having our own family because this weekend we babysat a baby.
Oh yeah, the first time we babysat together.
It was a 5-month-old baby.
So cute.
Almost 5 months. And I think we did pretty good.
We did pretty good. Yeah, we did a lot of things. We bottle fed him and put him to sleep and played with him. So
yeah,
we'd like to have a kid, and pretty soon.
Yeah. But
before I'm 30, I'm 28. So
yeah.
Anyways, yeah, if you want to see more of that journey, then subscribe.
We're on our way.
Give our video a thumbs up. And yeah, we'll see you guys in our next video.
Okay, guys.
Bye.